Yesterday, the DA's Cape Metro caucus recommended that Patricia de Lille be removed as the Cape Town mayor. This recommendation comes days before the party's federal executive meeting on Sunday, where the fate of the mayor will be discussed. De Lille is facing two investigations where the party is accusing her of maladministration and another by the council that claims she tried to ignore serious allegations against senior managers. In recent interviews, de Lille has, however, said she will not step down and will fight to restore her name, as the information in the investigations reports are untrue. Joining us from our studios in Cape Town is the Mayor herself, Patricia de Lille. Mayor, thank you. Thank you very much for being with us here on Morning Live.
Good morning.
All right, so you released a statement yesterday saying that the City of Cape Town DA caucus never met and you have yet to see the proof of it. Please elaborate on this for us.
Yes, that is correct. I think there was a wrong reporting that made a reference to the DA caucus of the City of Cape Town, when in fact it was the DA's regional executive. Soon after the executive released the statement, I received several calls from members of the DA and branches of the DA saying that the executive have never consulted them. The executive never had a mandate from them to pass that vote of no confidence. So I think there is quite a hurry, Leanne, to get rid of me, and in the process, people are making serious procedural mistakes. Of course, the federal leadership of the DA intervened late yesterday afternoon, Mr. James Self, and has cautioned the regional executive that the matter is before the highest body of the DA, the federal executive, and therefore they should not interfere.
Yeah. Now, I mean, when you look at everything that's unfolding, I know that you are saying, and yes, you're very vocal about this, that this is more of a personal vendetta than anything else. Can you talk to us more about this?
Well, first of all, there is really a serious attempt to stain my track record of a person that has fought corruption all my life. And of course, I have to defend my own reputation. I am for an investigation, any investigation. But then it must be on the basis that the allegations against me must be tested in an open process. I would actually like to even have the media inside there, and then these things must be unpacked, and I must be afforded an opportunity to state my side of the case. But you cannot find me guilty, be the judge and the jury, even before I have had an opportunity to respond. And so I've made some submissions to the federal executive of the DA that will be considered this Sunday. And I hope that a process could be started whereby I be afforded that opportunity to state my case.
I mean, what do you understand are the allegations against you?
Well, there are allegations from members within the Democratic Alliance and for which the federal executive established a subcommittee to investigate. The unfortunate part of that is that all of the allegations against me, the people are nameless, there are no dates, there are no incidents, and I was asked to respond to them, which I did. But unfortunately, my response was also not taken in consideration, and the federal executive decided to suspend me, and which I'm currently suspended from party activities. I was then afforded an opportunity to make a submission as to why, and I must give reasons as to why I must not resign or why there should not be a vote of no confidence against me. And it is that submission, a substantive submission that I've made, that will be considered by the federal executive of the DA this coming Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think is going to come out of this? It almost looks like it's a signed deal, because we are seeing that it's almost de Lille against the DA, and if the DA are meeting, it looks like your fate has already been signed. Do you feel that way as well?
Well, the DA's got a constitution, and I suppose we are all equal, and we are all subjected to that constitution. And I do expect that the federal leadership must make sure that my rights in terms of the DA constitution is not violated, that my rights in terms of common law and in terms of our own constitution is not violated, that the right to hear the other side of the story is, and of course also the rule of law, that is observed. That's all what I'm asking for. I'm asking to test these allegations. Give me an opportunity to respond, but don't find me guilty or don't ask me to resign even before these allegations were tested against me. So I hope that the federal executive, in considering my submission on Sunday, will keep these values of the DA in mind, of freedom, fairness and opportunity.
Yeah. I think it's very difficult for the people of Cape Town to be sitting and watching the infighting happening. And I'm sure you can agree with me on this when the province is sitting in one of the worst droughts that this country has ever seen. And it's a desperate situation. And yet they've got to be watching talk of this. I mean, what do you have to say to that?
Well, I spend 16 hours a day at my office, and of that, 80% is spent on the water situation. I had at least gave Capetonians some good news on Monday to say to them that we have found a lot of water, 150 million litres of water that we can produce per day from the aquifers around the city. I'll be going out to visit one of the rigs today. And so, yes, I must concentrate on that. It's the worst drought in 100 years. Capetonians have been wonderful water warriors, including our visitors that came to our shores this holiday. And so we must continue to work together and focus so that we get through this drought, because the new normal is with climate change that we are going to have droughts for many years to come.
Yeah. This city levy, or the drought levy, we should call it, is causing a lot of controversy as well.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem that the party's backing you on this. Are you going to back down, or is this something that you want to see going ahead no matter what happens on Sunday?
Well, the decision to propose a drought charge was adopted by the caucus of the Democratic Alliance, of which I was not even part of that because I'm not allowed to attend caucuses. That decision was then taken to the full council, where the full council adopted that decision. And that is subject to us getting permission from the national government. And therefore, there's a public participation that was open until the 12th, which we have extended now to Monday midnight. We have so far received 45,000 submissions. We will then categorize the submissions. We will then consider them, and then we will make an announcement on that. So for the regional executive yesterday to go against a decision that they have made, it's total confusion. I mean, I wasn't even there. It's not a Patricia de Lille decision. It's a DA-led government decision that we must go for the drought charge. And it's going to be a temporary measure if it is granted. And the lowest person, people will pay less than 47 Rand per month. There are about 52,000 people that will pay a little bit more than 150 Rand per month. And it's not all the households that will be affected by the drought charge. All the houses with the value below 400,000, the indigent and the poor people will be covered. They will not be further taxed. We will still continue to give free water to poor people. And it's a whole package. But to say it is my idea and therefore the regional executive is against it is totally wrong.
Let's talk about your house for a second, because I mean, there's so many stories making the rounds here.
Yes.
And the security upgrades to your house, and all of these allegations that are hovering around you. I mean, something that we've seen the DA fighting when it came to President Jacob Zuma's security upgrades, and it was something they stood vehemently against. And now we hear that you are spending the money on security upgrades. Talk to us about this.
Leanne, if there's any person with any evidence that can show that I have used city-owned money to do renovation of my house, I'm calling on them anywhere in South Africa to come forward with the evidence. What has happened at my house, and that's why I open up my banking account, I open up my house to show, because I believe in transparency, to show that these are the renovations that I paid for. This is what the city paid for. Mayors are entitled to an official residence. Since I became the mayor, I've always refused that. Why should the ratepayers pay for a residence for me while I have a home in Cape Town? And so, again, the Auditor General has looked at these allegations that I have used money for my own upgrades, and I was vindicated. The Auditor General found there was nothing untoward with the security upgrades at my house. Now, this is normal that all public representatives in executive positions, Premier Helen Zille, Mayor Dan Plato, and all the mayors before me. In fact, I have refused SABC's recommendations to even change my roof tiles because they are not fireproof. And I have said that we cannot be excessive with taxpayers' money and ratepayers' money. So there is no truth in it, and I still challenge anyone with information that can show that I have benefited from ratepayers' money to come forward.
What about the issues and the allegations that you told the subordinate Craig Keeson to make irregularities concerning the Cape Town My City buses to go away? And these irregularities apparently cost millions. Again, this is something else that is a big worry.
Well, first of all, the investigation around the My City bus stations, where we discovered that the contractor contracted by the city, that the cashiers were stealing money that was supposed to be coming to the city. 18 of those cashiers have been charged already. Some of them are in jail as we speak. The City of Cape Town, the Transport Commissioner, Melissa Whitehead, she discovered that there were losses to the city. Melissa Whitehead and the city manager launched an investigation. It was found that, yes, the cashiers were taking money by pulling the plug before the money could register on the system. And the company acknowledged that, and through the company's insurance, they accepted liability for those losses. The city manager then appointed PricewaterhouseCoopers to further investigate any further losses. And that report has just been concluded, and I will be receiving a copy of that report soon. But as far as we could establish, this allegation of 43 million losses must still to be proven. And so Mr. Keeson must come with the evidence that show that there were 43 million losses, and we will then check it against the report of Pricewater that will be available soon.
All right. You know, there's so many different issues, and it would take me the whole morning to get through all of this. But I think I think the reality is that there's a lot of infighting happening right now. And you, in a radio interview yesterday, went ahead and said that there's this Baskarp mentality. What do you mean by this? I mean, is there something in the ranks of the DA that we should know about?
Well, first of all, what people must realize, and I'm one of the people that fought for these rights that we are all enjoying in our country today. Gone are the days where you can just ride a roughshod over the rights of people. Myself, as the people who have been accused me, I've also got right. The people that have made the allegations have got right. So what I'm saying is that you cannot then just make a statement to say, oh, tell us why you should not resign. You have to follow due processes, natural justice. You have to follow our constitution. And that's what I mean. Those days of bosses telling us, this is what you must do, and this is what we want you to do, it's over. We have to respect our constitution. We have to respect the principle of natural justice. And I'm sure the majority of the people in the DA believe in those principles. But let us now walk the talk and let us make sure that those principles that we believe in, that is actually applicable also within our own party.
Now, indeed, and the reality is that, and everybody's seeing it, this infighting is causing major problems within the DA. What is your relationship with Helen Zille like, the Premier?
Well, I've got no problems with Helen Zille. I always say with Helen, what you see is what you get. I meet with Helen once a month in an intergovernmental relation forum. If there are any issues, we address it. We have a breakfast once a month, and I've got no problems with Helen Zille. If you look at the case, comparatively speaking to what happened to Helen Zille, and now the same thing has happened to me, in the end, the party decided with Helen Zille, let them rather find a political solution, which they did, and that settled the matter. I don't know what the party is going to decide to do with me, whether they're going to follow the same what they did to Helen Zille. But I am open for discussions, and I've worked with everybody in the party. You know, Leanne, on the 3rd of August in 2016, that's when we tested the confidence of the voters in the Democratic Alliance in the city of Cape Town. In fact, under my leadership, we've increased the vote of the DA to 66.6%, the highest in the country. And that is the confidence of the voters. So what I'm doing today, Leanne, it's not about me, Patricia de Lille. It is about what I have committed myself and the leadership to do to carry out our mandate that we receive from the voters. And so that is what I'm concentrating on now, to make sure that I implement a 5-year integrated development plan, because that's what the voters expect from us. We must remember that we are public representatives. Indeed. And we are accountable to the voters. And I will keep to that I want to serve the people of the city of Cape Town.
Mayor, on a closing note, and very quickly, the meeting on Sunday, if the outcome is that you must resign, you must step down and leave office, will you do it without questioning?
I will not step down, I will not resign until such time that the party afford me an opportunity to test the allegations against me. I think in terms of fairness, in terms of natural justice, it is not an unreasonable ask that these allegations against me be tested. Because otherwise, if I succumb to walking away, I will be pleading guilty. And I've got a reputation to protect. People know me in this country. I mean, I've worked very hard to build my country. I love my country. I love the people of South Africa. And the party must remember that I have got rights too. And I'm only pleading, please give me an opportunity to test those allegations. But walk away, I will not.
Let's leave it there. Mayor of Cape Town, Patricia de Lille, thank you very much for talking to us here on this programme. Let's get your views if you'd like to.
Thank you,
Morning Live, SABC. Absolute pleasure, Mayor. At Morning Live, SABC, if you'd like to talk to us. Let's take a break. See you after this.